just righteous pride. In this one big voice, it's our time. Generation fighters take the stand. From shore to shore, we reclaim the land. Grit and glory in every strand. In Jersey Shore, we make our stand.
Serious problem for Democrats, losing ground at an alarming rate in voter registration nationwide. The New York Times analysis shows that from 2020 to 2024 elections, Democrats lost roughly 2.1 million registered voters in the 30 states and D.C. That tracked party affiliation, while Republicans gained 2.4 million. That's a staggering net swing of 4.5 million votes, and that's according to the New York Post. In 2020, Democrats held an 11-point advantage in registration. By 2024, that lead shrunk by just over 6 points, again, according to the New York Post. It's not limited to 1 or 2 spots. It's nationwide. Even in California and New York, traditional blue strongholds, Democrats saw substantial losses, nearly 681,000 in California and 305,000 in New York. In battleground states like Carolina, Democrats saw massive erosion, losing well over 110,000 voters while Republicans surged. To be crystal clear, Democrats are hemorrhaging numbers of registered voters, and that kind of momentum shift doesn't just fade overnight. So basically, Democrats are in deep trouble. It's going to take a long time to get their base back.
Well, man, the problem is that's when they started to embrace all these crazy policies that, have no substance behind them.
Yeah, and they keep doubling down. I mean, meanwhile, left-wing media, liberal pundits, and Democrat voices are still pushing the same predictable talking point. Trump is a dictator, accusing him of federalizing D.C. to crush crime, painting him as dismantling democratic norms. Yet that argument, while it's rhetorically intense, is working for them. And in the moment, it feels dramatic, it gets headlines, and it plays well to base Democrats. But is it effective politically? Maybe not as much as they hope. Messages that sound extreme energize some, but alienate many others. And the data shows Republicans gaining converts and liberals consolidating. Then you have Gavin Newsom. We talked about this earlier. He's stepping into a strategy that looks a lot like Trump's. Loud social media presence, meme-ready one-liners, projecting energy and confidence. It's a smart tactic, and right now it's resonating with the liberal Democratic base. But let's be clear, it rings unauthentic and orchestrated to those with common sense political radar. The sort of voters who deliver Trump his edge. So the rest of the country, the swing voters and independents, they're not fooled by gimmicks. So they see this, through the veneer, and the registration numbers tell the story.
Well, I'll tell you, Damon, I mean, we were just talking about that, and that's exactly the point that I brought up is, look, Gavin Newsom, if he had substance, he'd be somebody worth keeping an eye on right now. We know he's got political, presidential aspirations, but, he's doing everything right. He's trying to run the podcast presidency the way that Trump did. He's coming out and he's starting his own podcast. He's getting out there in front of the people. The problem is, once again, no substance. I mean, Democrats continue to find themselves on the wrong side of 80-20 issues. They continue to double, down on them. And, I don't know where they're going, man. They lack leadership in the Democrat Party right now.
Yeah, they have nothing. Like you said, no substance whatsoever. They have no policies. The only thing that they have, and it does work for them, for their base, for their far left liberal base, is they hate the orange man. He's a dictator. Attack Trump. And that's what Gavin Newsom's doing. That's all he has. But he is, it is a smart move what he's doing, trying to get his base so he wins, the primary for Democrats. And he probably will, because he's not stupid. He just sucks.
Yeah. Listen, no, he's taking the approach that people need to be taking right now, but without having the policies to back it up. That's just a quick worry to destroy America even further.
Yeah, I mean, look what's his track record in California? Like,
Not good.
negative 100 on everything.
Well, you see, I mean, look, homeless camps all over the place. I mean, they got the crap app to tell you where the human feces is
right.
in the middle of the street. I mean, what are we doing? Is that what we want here in New Jersey? I mean, I don't think so.
I forgot all about that. The crap
Yeah, the crap app. How can you forget that? This is the most important app ever created, apparently. Yes, Gavin Newsom.
And that's what he's known for, the crap app.
That's it.
Yeah. He only cleans up, the cities when you have
When his real president, Xi Jinping, is coming to town. That's it. That's when he decides he's got to roll out the red carpet and clean up the streets.
Justin Barbera, he said, looking sharp today, gentlemen. Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, thank you, Justin. Appreciate that. We got this, I've been rocking suits all day, man. I go ahead. We went out to the Camden County Commissioners meeting. We got Christian calling in a little bit. We'll touch more on that. But look, man, I just keep trying to get into this suit life and, embrace it, right? Look for the job that you want,
Yeah, well, it's you do your job based on merit. Dress how for the part.
That's it.
And I think that Elena Barbera, I'm going to give her a shout out. Elena Barbera, the Base Mother podcast. She's from Florida. She's awesome. Her podcasts are awesome. So you can find her on Rumble and YouTube and all that stuff. She's on the Pulse every Wednesday. She was on last night too. But she created a monster with Pete. Pete was on a podcast and he mentioned something about
Fetterman. I was like, oh, Fetterman, yeah, dumbed down dress code.
Yeah.
I want to wear hoodies. Maybe I can run for something now. Then they asked me to run, and now I put the suit on. I don't take it off. I sleep in the suit.
Yeah, that was actually before you were asked to run.
That was before I was asked to run. Yeah.
So, and now when we were at we went to an event with Jack Chiarelli on Sunday. He was at the 7-Star Diner, and Jack asked Pete to come up and speak, and also Jack Brangan.
We had 4 different districts with their assembly candidates at that event. All right, that's huge. That's creating the red building block.
Yeah, it is, Pete, because even though represent different counties, it was in Gloucester County, but Camden County came. I mean, Constance represents both. She has 3 towns in Gloucester, and the rest are in Camden.
LDs 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're all there.
Yeah, it was amazing. And that's what we need to do. Everyone needs to come together. Everyone needs to help each other. And I think that's what's happening right now. And that's the first time I've ever seen it.
Yeah, man. Look, change is in the air. People know. But go ahead, finish your story. What Jack tell me?
No, you want me?
Go ahead. What did Chiarelli tell me?
I got to say it. So, all right. So he's going down the line. Chris Conwell, I believe he went first, and then I went down the line. Amanda, and then
then Jerry McManus.
Yeah, and
then Constance Ditzel.
Yeah,
and then Jack Brandon saves the best for last. What'd he say?
And then he turns around and goes, "I'm going to go to the best dressed here, Peter." And then Pete gives and I leaned over to his Pete's treasurer, Nate. And I said, he's never going to let this one go and let this one down. We're going to hear about this forever. And then the first thing, as soon as it was over, he comes walking over. He goes, "You heard that, right?" Jack said I was the best dressed. I said, "Oh my God, here we go."
That's it. Making waves already. Listen.
You're funny, man.
Until I get in there and prove that my policies are going to be fantastic, all right, the first thing I can go ahead and do is get noticed for being the best dressed. You got to get in somewhere.
Yeah. And the thing is, too, when I always look at politicians, I see people at these events, like tonight, we're going to an event. And I've been there with many different people who never met politicians, like, congressmen or state senators, whatever it may be. They're like in awe. They're like, "Oh, my God, it's Senator so-and-so or Congressman this." And I'm like, well, they're people. They just have a different job than you. That's it. But everyone's good at a different job. And that's how they excel. But it's like they're not that special. Listen, if they have good policy, they do their job, that makes you special. I could say that I do a good job at my job. I'm building multi-million-dollar projects and I get them done. Does that make me special in the field? Yeah, if you want to look at it like that, but not really. People just do different jobs.
Well, I'm going to keep saying this, though, Damon. Right now, our politicians are the new celebrities, okay? That's what we're seeing right now, right? Everywhere you go, it's the politicians that are getting the most clout, okay? So if you want to go ahead and invade that world, you better look the part.
Yeah, you can look at it that way. They are. But what kind of celebrity you want to be? A Jasmine Crockett celebrity?
No, I absolutely don't. I want to be one known for my big brain.
There you go. So, and that's what I mean by it. And they are the celebrities, and you might be dressing the part and stuff like that, but you just have to be good at your job and have good policy, because everybody is a person that just wants to do something good and especially represent their constituents. And if they're good at it, then they need to be elected. And you can't look at somebody running for the first time and be like, oh, that guy never ran before. Well, guess what? Neither did anybody else. Neither did Trump before 2016 or 2015 when he announced. So,
well, it's Trump that's really making this push right now, right? I mean, the biggest celebrity around is Trump. But also he's the one that's creating this new Republican Party, this MAGA movement, that has given birth to so many different offshoots, but that's the one that's really has people excited. And yeah, we have been getting screwed for so long, and it's waking people up to say, hey man, I have to go do my civic duty to try to fight back against this corruption and these people taking advantage of us, for the past, 30, 40, 50, 100 years.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. But no, I think Trump has a big difference. When Trump first got on the scene, that people were laughing at him like his joke, like he wasn't going to win, because he was unpredictable and he would say things that weren't like the status quo, but he was saying things that people wanted to say, but everyone was getting canceled for it, and you would lose your job if you said this, that, and the other. But Trump was polarizing, and he would just went at it, and that's how he drew people in. I mean, he's also, other than a builder and real estate mogul, he's an entertainer too.
Yeah.
And sometimes you need that charisma, and it rubs a lot of people the wrong way because he wasn't part of that swamp, and that's why they. Yeah,
that's the one that rubs the wrong way, is all them swamp preachers over there, And speaking of Jasmine Crockett, how about she's about to lose her seat, huh?
Yep. Yeah, all that childish stuff with the redistricting. That's. The way the Democrats acted anyway. But they should redistrict, because the population of Texas grew since the last consensus.
Since 2020, right? I mean, we had people from New Jersey fled and went down to Florida. People from California fled and went to Texas.
I was going to say, thank Gavin Newsom for that one.
Yep. No, absolutely. So look, Texas should redistrict. I'm sure Florida should redistrict, and listen, we're at this point now where the Democrats have been playing this redistricting game for how long? They say in Chicago, right, Illinois, if you go look at their map, they have a county that's like a big block and then like a little squiggle line up and then another block.
It's like
how is that fair?
Yeah, it's a snake that runs through all these other counties.
Yeah.
It's like that big. And
yeah, what are we doing right now? No wonder it's completely blue. I mean, these people have been doing this stuff for years.
Yeah, exactly. And they make such a big deal. You're stealing our democracy. BS.
Your democracy is unjust. I'm sorry to tell you. Democracy in itself is what we're trying to get back to.
Absolutely, buddy. So, but they acted like children, though. And they fled to these other blue states. And then you see J.B. Pritzker.
Yeah, Pritzker. He thought he was going to hide him up there. He's trying to take that mantra role, too.
Yeah, what's I think is it Jesse Waters on Fox? He calls him what's he call him, JB back rib or something like that.
I don't know. I don't watch any of that mainstream news.
So, but yeah, I thought I heard it once. I forget what it was. It was something along those lines. It was funny. But yeah, they flee to a state that's the most German state like in the country. And now, well, I'm going to go here because I don't want to redistrict in my state. So,
but then you see Newsom came out, right, and he was pushing back against the gerrymandering too. Well, I'm going to gerrymander in California. Yeah. How, bro? You already did that.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
I mean, it's 100% blue, and you keep seeing these memes now on social media where it's like, oh, they've already been doing this stuff. They're supposed to have this many Republican seats, and they have zero, or less than their percentage that they're supposed to have because of all the gerrymandering that's been going on.
Yeah, maybe he wants to go out into the Pacific and redistrict out there and have some whales come in and vote, and just like he wants the illegals.
No, those fish that he tried to save. That's what it is. Those fish. I don't know if they have whales out there anymore. I mean, probably too many windmills. We know.
Yeah, what was the amount of money he wasted on that to save
save them fish?
I forget the name of the fish too. Man. It was a while. It was about a year ago or something like that when I found out about it. But
I'm broke it here first, folks.
Yeah, yeah, we did. We talked a while ago. But Newsom again. That guy. He's a joke. But I mean, like I said, he's not stupid. He just sucks. But we'll see where that goes. I like to see the battle. But then we also have the battle in D.C. now with the federation by having the Trump taking over the Capitol Police and having the National Guard there.
Did you see the video of the feds walking down the street and they stopped and were talking to the black guys sitting there in the corner, thought they were smoking some marijuana, and started talking to him with just a cigarette, and just let him know, hey man, look, let your boys know we're going to be out here. We're trying to go ahead and clean this up. Don't do this, don't do that. Just because, that's the way it's supposed to be, right? Is we don't want to ruin anybody's life. The gentleman actually said that in the video. We don't want to ruin anybody's life, but we want to let you guys know that we're cleaning the streets up here.
Yeah, no, I know. There's nothing wrong with what they're doing. And if you look at it, some of the stats that came out, the way they asked the question, do they think that Trump is doing the right thing? And you have a lot of Trump haters in D.C. and they're saying, no, we don't need it. Crime is not that bad. But when they ask the right question, when they say, well, how bad is crime here? If they leave Trump's name out of it, then the whole poll numbers switch on how people talk. But they ask them in that fashion.
Well, I said, as soon as you bring up the T word, man, that's it. Everybody loses their mind.
Yeah, as soon as you bring up the orange man and the TDS comes out.
That's it.
So, but that's because of the media. And the media, they just keep doing it. And the thing is, let them. I invite it. Just keep doubling down on all the stuff that you keep saying. And Trump, like I said before, he's like a mud monster. You can keep throwing mud at him all you want, and it's just going to stick, and the mud monster will keep getting bigger, and we'll keep going. And he's beating them all, which is great. I would rather have a leader that wins.
No, listen, I agree. If you want to continue to move the needle, you got to win, right? Nobody wants to be part of a losing team.
And it's not like he's doing anything wrong. I could see, they compare it to, he's committing genocide. I've heard that. I'm like, what? Like, how is he committing genocide with the illegal immigration and kicking them out of the country? Is that genocide? I never heard of that.
Well, I don't know. I thought he was giving a one-way ticket home. I don't know.
I think that's pretty nice. Can he give me a ticket home?
They could have left him outside the door, down there in Mexico. I'm sure they would have been thrilled.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't know. Things are going pretty good, man. So how's it going with the campaign?
We had our first fundraiser the other day. That was a big success. Once again, you can go see my speech and some others cut up and put on Facebook. I'm just trying to get out there as much as I can. We went down there to the Jack, diner tour right afterwards. That was a very good first meeting. I never met Jack before, so that was very good. Hopefully he remembers who I am now, being the best dressed. You know what I mean? That's going to solidify me in his mind. And no, man, listen, we're just keep trying to make progress. We got the gala on the greens coming up here at the Trump Golf Course. In case anybody is able to come to that. That's Thursday the 28th.
Thursday 28th at 6:30.
Yep. And then before that, on the same day, Thursday the 28th, we're going to be going up to the Statue of Liberty for a Moms for Liberty speech that Jack is putting on up there. So we're just moving all over, man.
Yeah, and then listen, if you guys go on the Camden County GOP website, you can still buy tickets to that gala at the Greens. It does say RSVP by the 19th, but they're still available. So, but Pete, I believe we have a caller. So, hello, caller. You're live. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hey, how you guys doing, gentlemen? You guys look very sharp. I was watching you guys on Facebook. My name is Christian Navarro. I am the candidate for Camden County Commissioner. Just want to touch back on a little bit what you said about the crime in D.C. after Trump, put the right individuals to patrol the area, how crime went down. It's kind of something we need here in Camden City. Crime in Camden has really not gone anywhere. It has remained the same. The only difference is people have stopped calling it in. Police have stopped doing their due diligence. And that's why the Democrat numbers, they say that crime has gone down. Crime hasn't gone down. It's just not being reported, or it's just being shrugged off to the side like it's not important. We need real police officers. Not saying that the ones that are in now aren't in it for the right reasons, but we need more police officers that care and want to do the difference for the city. You guys mentioned something about Democrats not really caring for the people, and I agree. I agree. Because I just, me and Pete actually, or Pete and I, just left the commissioners meeting. And how can you hold a commissioners meeting at 12 p.m. when most people are working, running errands, or, going about what they have to do to, move on with their day? how can you get their opinion? How can you have their voices heard if you're doing these meetings at these times where they cannot be there? And that's a question that we've been asking over and over, and we can't get a straight answer on it.
Well, I think Pete, what do you think? I mean, that's obvious.
Well, listen, first of all, Chris, thanks for calling in, brother. We appreciate you all day. Yeah, we did go down there, Camden commissioner meeting today. And, 12 o'clock on a weekday, right? Normal people are out working. They got jobs, right? 9 to 5, you got bills to pay. And, yeah, I mean, it feels like they don't want the public at these events so they can continue to slide and do whatever they want to do right under the carpet. One of the big things I saw today when we first went in there, it immediately started off with them giving out awards for electric buses, all right, electric school buses with the promise of more to come. Now we're trying to fight against this green energy stuff because it doesn't work. And then right after that, they come up and on the bill was a quality air control quality air control board that they're establishing to try to go ahead and improve the air quality of Camden, which, look, I agree. I'm an environmentalist as well. I like innovation too, but these green policies don't work. And all they do is keep their hand in the taxpayer's pocket and continue to siphon out money.
Yes, exactly. I agree. And when I asked the question if they can produce to us or give us any type of documents showing how our tax dollars were invested, they just gave vague answers. There is no real transparency on how to find the vendor or the itemized list for these vendors that are being contracted to the city to work in the city. There's no way to show that. Because yes, they talk about auditing, but audit only checks for the math and balances checkbooks. How do we know that there is a real impact with these programs or these whatever contractors that they're bringing in? We need the performance side of it, not just the math.
Well, that's it. Now, when you go ahead and you look at these quality air control groups, I mean, that's what puts New York congestion pricing into effect, right? So, I mean, we just got to be careful with that, man. I mean, it really is kind of looking like they want to push the normal people out of Camden, and then just have it as a corporate headquarters.
Exactly. We need more people to stand up and come forward that to want to stop this, because later in a few years, there's not going to be no real residents in Camden because they push them all out.
You see, we want to go ahead and we want to rebuild Camden. We don't want to, what was the word that you used, Damon?
Well, not regentrify, revitalize.
There you go. He's got an eloquent way of saying it.
Revitalize.
Yeah, because if you regentrify, I mean, that term usually means you're going to push out the people that live there, grew up there, and regentrify it, and going to price them out. But that's why I say revitalize. And I actually gave that in a speech. I had to go back and look it up. When Pete told me you guys were there, I gave one when I was there as well. And then I talked about that. I said, we don't want to regentrify. We want to revitalize Camden because we want the people there to stay because they earned it, they lived it, and they need help. And we want to create jobs for them. We don't want to push them out and bring other people in. I've seen it happen in other towns, especially in Philadelphia, where I grew up, in Fishtown. It was the same thing happened. It was a very poor neighborhood, and then it regentrified, and a lot of the residents that lived there were pushed out for newcomers, and most of them were liberals anyway. So
funny how that works.
Exactly.
Yeah. Speaking a little bit on air pollution, I know you guys might be aware of the whole EMR fire that happened. They did a contract, $6.4 million, that they're going to pay out to the residents of the city, but they're all taking that and it's going to be dispersed within the next 5-10 years. They really didn't hold EMR accountable, and the EMR isn't really doing nothing about the multiple fires that have happened on their sites. And this is like completely toxic to that area, to the people living in the area, because these fires, our fire departments are good and props to them, but these fires have happened since for the past decade nonstop. It's always continuously happening. It may not be on purpose, but they need to be held more accountable for these problems that they're having if they know that it's occurring. Why not do something more productive into maybe preventing the fires or something once a fire is established, to take some measures that the company itself can start before the fire department gets there. Because these fires that's been happening burns that whole area, not for an hour, 2 hours, just 3, 4, 5 hours that these is just burning, and it completely darkens the whole sky out here.
Yeah.
And see, no, I'm not too familiar with that one, but I will tell you this: when you go ahead and you look at some of these other forest fires that we've been having, and right, we just had one earlier this summer, right? Where was that? At that national park?
Then, was it? I thought it was in like Tom's River.
No, it was close. It was like 18 miles from me or something. It was relatively close. But listen, I used to say when I was growing up down in Cape May Courthouse, right? I remember seeing an easement between the shoulder of the road and where the forest started. It was a good 8-10 feet. And then I come back and I'm driving down there and the trees are encroaching on the road. And then you heard President Trump a while back talk about the fact that, they're no longer, raking the forest.
Yeah.
And getting the brush and all this stuff out of there. I mean, yeah, they're no longer taking care of the forests, which is increasing the amount of, wildfires that we're seeing all over the place.
Oh, and that's not to say about the whole GCO line project that you're trying to implement.
Yeah, that's another big one. A lot of people are been talking about for a long time. I don't personally. I don't know where it's at right now, but I know it's been an issue for a long time. I know people are trying to block it and stop it. They don't want it. But yeah, so that's another big one. So I want to ask you: Are you from Camden City?
Yes, I'm native to Camden City, born and raised. Proud to say it.
Okay. Because I was just curious because I was looking at something I said a long time ago. I was looking at Donald Norcross. He drafted a bill that would give 1.6 billion in tax breaks to the people of Camden to create jobs, and out of that money, 1.1 billion went to Norcross's own insurance brokerage firm and his business partners.
Yeah.
So. Yes. And I know that they've been for about 50, 60 years, they've been trying to build up Camden, but all of the corruption from the politicians, now I'm not alleging that Donald Norcross is corrupted. I'm just saying maybe.
Just on the dot.
Because he was fighting an indictment charge.
Yeah.
And in the past, I want to say 40, 50 years, there have been 3 Democrat mayors from Camden who have been charged with corruption, whether it was wire fraud, misappropriation, ad scam. There was one of the mayors, Milton Milan, who was doing stuff in a weird way that got him in trouble. So it's just like people say that the city of, and I've heard this from the constituents, the public, and this is what people actually believe that this. Part of the reason Camden City is the way it is because of the Republican policies that have been implemented. Like I've said before, we haven't had any Republican, at least in the city, we haven't had any Republican mayor since 1936.
Oh, yeah.
This is a little over maybe 90 years ago.
That's all cities, buddy. Every single one.
Democrat.
Yeah, Pete and I we broke that down quite a few shows ago. I think Philadelphia has been like 70 years. Camden, we said, was it like 90 years?
Yeah.
I mean,
100 years.
Yeah, Detroit. I mean, you go through it, and they're so badly run. So, if you're talking to people in Camden City, I mean, do you ask them like, why do they keep voting Democrat? Because I have before, and I just asked them. I asked them questions. I said, well, what do you believe in? What do you want? And as they tell me, I'm like, well, you're in line with everything that I want. So why do you keep voting Democrat? You're more Republican than you know.
You're hitting the nail right on the head. I asked them the same question. What makes you vote Democrat? What about both parties? What makes you think you're a Democrat? Once we start speaking, we start picking each other's brains, and like, you stand on the same values that I stand on. So why do you keep voting Democrat? Some people tell me it's like a family thing, that everybody in their families vote Democrat, that all they know is Democrat, there hasn't been no Republican presence out here. And that I do understand. There hasn't been no Republican representation, but that's up to today, because we have Pete. We have myself running for commissioner. He's running for LD6. We have Jack branding it. We have Nilsa and Constance running for LD4.
And Nilsa is from Camden.
We have a bunch of people now that there's representation. So there is no real reason for you guys to sit there like, and I'm sorry to say no disrespect, like sheeple with your fingers crossed waiting for handouts. It's time to stand up and take our voices back and do what is right for the city. And not only for the people that are living here, but for the future people, for the future generations that are coming.
No, you're absolutely right. And I just want to say, Seth Eisenberg just texted on Facebook. He's part of the APN, America's Pulse Network. He said, "What's up, Hammer?" He calls me a Hammer. It's funny. So it's a long-lasting joke. But yeah, he lives in Baltimore and in Maryland anyway. But he talks about Baltimore, and he said, it's almost like past saving. And I asked him the same question. It's like, why do people still vote Democrat? And I think a lot of the reason is, they dangle the carrot. The Democrats will right before an election say, hey, we're going to give you this for free. And that's why I think, we're turning into their policies are socialist and Marxist. And that's what they do. And they get people hooked to the system to live off of government. And, and that's what it is. And they throw that out there like maybe 2 months before the election, just to, like Biden, I'm going to pay off your student loans right before the election, knowing that it was unconstitutional. He couldn't do it. But he still found some ways to pay off some of them. But that's what they do. I think the Democrats just keep cheating and doing whatever they can to bend the rules.
Buying votes.
And buy votes, yeah.
Republicans are trying to encourage people to throw down their shackles and promote self-reliance, self-reliability.
Yeah.
It's like back in the 60s when LBJ was president, and unfortunately, this is a quote of his, but he said that he's going to have these N-words voting Democrats for the next 200 years. How can you sit by a party and still vote for the same people that were against you? They were against you for the civil rights. They were against us for the freedom of slaves. How can you keep voting for these same people that want to keep you chained up mentally? It's just baffling.
But the Democrat leadership and the propaganda news outlets will have you believe that the Republicans are the one that did all that.
Exactly. They talk about the grand twist or the grand change. Nothing happened. All they did was rebrand and present to you a mask so they can make seem like they're your friends. When in the long run, they're backstabbing the people. They don't really care about the people. They care about their special interests and their personal gains.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's right out in front of you. I mean, but not if you watch legacy media, mainstream media. Of course, they're bought by the left and Democrats.
Presented by Pfizer.
Yeah. So I mean, that's all you hear. So it's hard. I mean, that's why. Pete and I do this radio show. That's why we do the podcast. We're trying to get different news out there and get people like you on that see it. Because it's not like voters are stupid. They're just not informed. I mean, it's just, when you hear the same thing over and over again and you just paint Trump as the orange bad dictator man and the racist and that's what the media says all the time, no matter what it is. That they don't have no good policies, nothing. They have nothing to go on, but always go back to the racist card. And it's racist. It's racist. Voter ID is racist. And then you just keep bringing back all this old stuff, and it holds the country back. But that's what people hear, and people start to believe it. So I think we're the least racist country in the world. I mean,
I've heard that explained that way.
Yeah,
I've heard that same argument that we're the least racist.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're the most diverse for sure.
Yeah.
We're definitely the most diverse.
But that's what they keep doing. They keep putting on it. They're like LBJ. Like you just said, that's what they do. And I just think people need to be informed. I think as Republicans, what we need to do is go to these people and talk to them. And I walk the streets of Camden, and I'm not afraid. I talk to people. I interview people right off the street and just letting them know what it was about. Just like you and Pete going to City Hall today and talking about things. That's what we need to do. And I think that, I don't know, I think some Republicans are lazy.
They're definitely lazy.
But we work hard, but we don't want to do the extra, when it comes to politics. So.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. Like, look, if you guys want to do this, please inform yourselves. Please do the research. Please don't let people just go off of their word of mouth. Use your own thought process, because that's what the current government wants you to do. How is it that we had LBJ say that in the 60s, and then now Biden is saying, "Oh, you're not black if you don't vote for me"? You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
They keep continuing and questioning you for you to vote them because, oh, you're not black if you don't vote Democrat. You're not Hispanic if you don't vote Democrat. Like that, it's just no sense. Why keep playing the race card, and yet you guys aren't racist? That party isn't about racism.
Well, didn't Biden go to the funeral for the Grand Master or something, right?
What's his name? Bird.
Yeah. So he's going to KKK Grand Master funeral.
That was his mentor.
You just can't make this stuff up.
In the 90s, was the one that drafted the crime bill, and kept calling the blacks and Hispanics from the urban neighborhoods predators.
Yeah, and then he said he said I don't want my schools to be racial jungles. Like, but
look at that.
Yeah, that's what Biden said, and it's like really, and but the new legacy media never talked about it. They just pushed the narrative. But of him being the old grandpa, but I mean that's the thing. What I see with Democrats, they're like chameleons. I mean, if you see Hillary Clinton, you see Kamala Harris, they speak in one state a different language, and then another state they have a different accent. I mean, it's like
exactly that Kamala Harris is one comedian.
Yeah, I mean that's what they do. I'll give it to them. They're pretty good at it, I guess. Because they do win. But they're like, look at Gavin Newsom. That dude is he is a straight scumbag in my book. I mean, he really is. He's not a leader. He doesn't care about anybody but himself and his hair gel, and that's it.
Oh, he's got the slick back rig.
Yeah. But
another thing, now that you touch on that, and it's kind of changed the subject a little bit. Back here to Camden, the Norcross, you can see almost every school here in Camden has the Norcross name on it. The Norcross, for what reason? You want to build yourself up so people will see what you're doing? What's the cause for that? If you're really trying to do something and better the city, just do it. There's no reason for all that. Your accolades, your awards, whatever, the people will love you regardless. What Norcross has right now is a monopoly on property in Camden City. And this is just a starting point for him, because I'm pretty sure he's going to want to reach out throughout the whole county.
Oh yeah, they are. And one thing about the Norcrosses too, I mean, you look at it again. They're Cooper Hospital. George, the brother, and I call Donald Fredo. He's the Fredo of the brothers all the time. But now they're when they have Cooper Hospital, and then Donald Norcross launches this whole thing for methadone clinics, and we're going to have all these clinics because the fentanyl was so bad. Well, I'm not saying was, it is still so bad in heroin, and we're going to open all these methadone clinics. And then I look it up, and I'm like, oh, all right, wait for it. Oh, Cooper Hospital's one of them. So and now they're doing a big merger with Inspira Hospital. So so they're monopolizing everything. You're right about that.
Supposedly they're gonna. I don't know if it's the whole Norcross regime or whatever you be, but the last city hall council that I went to, they were thinking about passing something so that they can build a $6.2 million multi-agency facility to fight the fentanyl epidemic, or to more homeless shelters. I'm not against the homeless shelters. What I am against is in the 5-block radius here in downtown Camden, you have a methadone clinic, a rehab center, and 2 shelters. In a 5-block radius where people live, there's schools across the street. Kids have to see that every day coming home and to and from school. Like, why do we need to build another one? In my honest opinion, this is only promoting people with an addiction problem to come and try to find help in Camden, and it just repeats a whole cycle. They come to Camden, they put them through a program, they give them methadone, and it just repeats the same cycle on the taxpayer dollar.
No, you are absolutely right. And if you look at methadone clinics, that's where drug dealers hang out, because they know that all the time. I mean, I'm working in Lindenwold right now. They just put one in Lindenwold, and there's tons of drug dealers hanging out because they know people going there are going to buy drugs from them because they're going on methadone. But if you think about it, really, if you look at the Democrats with the wide open border, okay, we're just going to let everybody in, and they let everybody in. They let fentanyl, pour across our borders, killing our children, killing. I mean, it was number one killer from people ages 18 to 35, and they were letting it come in. So they let it come in, and then how they deal with it is open up taxpayer dollar run methadone clinics and rehabs and everything else. So it's a money-making machine for them. And that's
exactly.
Yeah.
Look, as a mental health nurse, all right, I've seen a lot of people withdrawing off of medications. Do you know what the worst medication to withdraw off of, or the worst drug to withdraw off of?
Methadone.
Methadone, yes.
It takes a month to get over the withdrawal symptoms for that.
So, but yeah, it's a racket. And like Pete always tells me too, because he is a nurse, and he's like, well, you don't think there's a cure for cancer out there? I said, yeah, there probably is in some way, but it's a moneymaker, and it's a form of control. And
that's it. It goes against the healthcare profession business model, right? I mean, you need sick people if you're in the business of selling drugs.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Ain't no sick people, they ain't gonna be selling no drugs.
Exactly. It's just like my idea. All right, and this is not, trying to get those neighboring cities into a beef problem with Camden, but we all know that the drugs are here in Camden. I admit that, and I know that. The drugs are here in Camden. But the people that come here are coming from different places. They're coming from Burlington. They're coming from Gloucester. They're coming from Cherry Hill, Pensacola, Mercerville, from all the other cities surrounding us. Why don't we implement something in those neighboring cities to fight the problem at the source, at the root cause of it? Why just ship them off to Camden and make it the next city's problem?
That's a good point. You're right about that.
That's what we were just talking about with the new jail they want to build, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So we establish something in the neighboring cities, did it at the source, and if there's less, I'm just putting in layman's terms, if there's less customers for these drug dealers out here, drug is literally going to, the drug crime or the drug whatever is going to just disappear. Because there's nobody buying, there's not going to be clientele, there's no customers, there's whatever you want to call it, there's nobody coming to Camden to want to buy it. So then now it forces the drug dealers to find another source of income, which we could help them with also by implementing programs, workshops, and like I tell everybody, I personally went to college. Most of my family went to college. But not everybody is there to go to college. I'm not calling nobody dumb or stupid, that they may not have the aptitude, or they just might not have the interest into going to a university or a college to get themselves in debt or whatever the case may be. Why don't we implement something to where we can have these young kids, 8, 17, 18, to whatever age, 35 we can put it, implement something to where they can get an alternative education and learn a trade.
You're not wrong about that. I'm in the trades myself, and you can see right now they push college on everybody. And Pete, what is it? What's the go to college for? Is it underwater basket weaving?
Oh yeah, underwater basket weaving. Listen, they do push college on everybody right now. My thing is this, Chris. All right, why is it the kids in China are learning how to cook rice at 5 years old? All right,
and our kids over here learning if they're a boy or a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
So listen, I'm already with Trump. I've said this multiple times. With Trump going ahead and writing the presidential order, executive order to disband the Department of Education. If they sign that, right, they codify that into law because they can always switch it back right now. Then all of a sudden that's going back to the states, and New Jersey's going to be looking for a new education system to put in place. Okay, and I've already been working with some other people on ideas for an education system where we should stop putting so much emphasis on test scores and more emphasis on, are these children ready to be young adults when they graduate and hit the ground running? Because we have young men failing to thrive, young women failing to thrive, everybody going to college, racking up all this debt and coming out with nothing to show for it.
Exactly. For example, Kansas City has a $91 million deficit in education. How is that possible?
You just said $91 million deficit. Is that what you said?
Yes, $91 million deficit.
Wow.
And talks with like education department, the education system.
Yeah, well, there you go. Because they're not doing the things they need to be doing correctly. Because they're spending all this extra money on electric buses.
This story, I'm always going to remember it because I had a conversation with this one gentleman. He's a barber. I'm not going to release his name or where he works, which barber, but he is a barber by profession. We sat here in private in his home and spoke, and I brought up the education topic. And he said he agreed with me because his daughter is in the 5th grade at a 3rd grade reading level.
Wow.
How is that possible? Our teachers are failing our students. The education system is failing our students. And these are the students, these are the children that are the future of this country, forget this country, of this city, of this county, of this state. And the education system is failing them.
For a long time, Chris.
How is that possible?
And I can't emphasize it enough. Again, I used to be a Democrat back in the day. That's what I was told to be. I was, in the union carpenter, until I got old enough to realize that, that it wasn't their values weren't aligned with mine. But this is all the Democrats doing. If you think about it, look at every major failed city in the country. It's run by Democrats. Look at the teachers union, all Democrats, but all Democrats. 97% of their PAC donations go to Democrats, and they always push Democrats. It's the same thing. So, to me, they're the worst thing that could ever happen to this country. I don't understand how people don't see it. Everything that they touch turns to crap. And it doesn't help our children, doesn't help the future of this country. It takes it backwards. Our country has some blemishes on it, with obviously with slavery and then racism and stuff like that. But we've grown past that. But they want to take us back there. So they want a wide open border that's going to let people in. That's going to take your jobs. Going to cost us all kinds of money. The taxpayers, and don't care about women getting raped and killed by illegal migrants. They don't care about the fentanyl pouring over the border. It's anything for power, and that's what people need to realize. They'll do anything to stay in power. They don't care, and I'm sorry, that's what it is. You just look at the track record. Republicans are not all, every Republican politician is great. There's sour ones out there too, for sure. But if you just look at the track record of the two parties, it's like, all right, well, the Republicans have, the conservative views that they believe in faith, family, freedom, but Democrats don't believe in that. It's just, it's right in front of your face.
All it takes is for people to just hit a button. We have a smartphone now. We have a computer in our pockets. Why not just look up the information instead of going off of people's words? Look it up. The information is right there. But they're just so accustomed to the Democrats handing them stuff that they became complacent, that they became comfortable, they became lazy.
Well, right now, Chris, I'll tell you, with the way the algorithms are set up, a lot of people are getting their news and information off of social media. And Facebook, whatever you like to look at, Facebook will feed you more of the same. So everybody's in their own little echo chamber, their own little bubble, and then that same information just keeps going back. And they think that, oh, yeah, everybody's on the same page as me, because look what happened after COVID. They shut down any Republican right-wing information.
Yep.
People were only digesting one source. They thought that was the way to continue. They weren't anticipating the pushback that they were going to get, and the more people they were going to wake up under the right.
Yeah, and just one more thing, just to touch it on education. Just like Damon said, let's get these folks an education in a trade. So instead of going to college and being in debt $100,000 after 4 or 5 years, learn a trade, learn something that contributes to society. And 4 or 5 years down the road, you'll have $100,000 in your bank account or in your savings, however you have your money saved up.
Chris, I saw down in Texas right now, juniors in this Texas high school ready to graduate making $70,000 a year.
Look at that.
Okay. Now, listen, I think it goes more than that, pal. Life skills, right? How many people do we have right now that are grown adults and don't have life skills? You know, how to cook, how to clean, how to do laundry, how to sew. You know, just these different things, man. And then, I mean, you know, agriculture. We need to be teaching this in school, starting in kindergarten, you know, and stepping up as you continue up. And then once you hit high school, if you want to go straight to a trade school, you could do that. You know, maybe we have some of that still in public schools. I mean, I don't know, man, but something's got to give, because the way that we're going is not the path forward.
Yeah, my wife.
We still have vocational schools, because I went to
My wife did that in the vocational school.
Siglerville, and then I transferred to Penn Tech. That's a whole trade school. You graduate with a high school diploma with a certificate in the job that you study in the area that you studied in, and you can either further it, or you can go to college and do something else. But at least you know the basics of how to do something, whether it's mechanic, culinary arts, becoming an electrician, carpentry, masonry, whatever the case may be, whatever the student's desire is to learn. Further, let's get into what the student wants to do, not just tell them, beat them over the head what they should be doing.
That's it. Let them get their hands on everything and see what shakes out.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, we got like 3 minutes left, but yeah, you're right. I mean, if you look at like AI coming out, AI is going to take certain people's jobs, but not everyone learns code. You know, the college, learn code. AI is the future. Well, guess what? You're always going to need a carpenter. You're always going to need an electrician. You're always going to need a plumber.
Exactly.
I mean, and then they're respectable jobs, and people make a lot of money, and they don't have to go into debt. It's not for everyone. Just like college isn't for everyone either, but I think we should push that, and it teaches people discipline and merit to do a hard day's work. I mean, I think it's a very healthy thing. But we're coming up on 2 minutes left, so before we let you go, how can people reach you? How can they find you? Help you out with your campaign. Any social media you want to put out there?
Yeah, you can find me on social media. My name is on Facebook, Chris Navarro. Instagram, same thing on Twitter. Reach me anytime. I have our email is CamdenCityRepublicans@gmail.com. Feel free to send me an email. And if you want to see real change happen in New Jersey, you have to vote red in November. That's the only way we're going to see this real change happen.
All right, you got it. And anyway, anyone can donate to your campaign and help out?
Yes, well, we're still working on the kinks of that, but if you reach out to the Camden City Committee, our chairwoman, she'll accept donations and she'll distribute it accordingly.
Okay, great, man. Well, keep up the fight. Thank you for coming on. And, I'd like to have you on the podcast, too. So
definitely. I'm definitely wanting to go on your podcast, Damon. You're doing a great job. Thank you for what you're doing.
So, all right. Thank you, man.
All right, brother. Appreciate you.
All right. Take care, guys.
All right, thanks. So, Pete, there you go. I've got more going. How old is Christian?
I'm not sure. Late 20s.
Late 20s?
Yeah.
Something like that? Yeah. So that's good. I mean,
more young people. That's what I keep saying. We need more young people.
Yeah, so we got Patrick called in the other day, Young Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's definitely what we need. Makes me feel like I'm getting old, man. I'll be 44 in a couple weeks.
No, I'm about to turn 40 in a couple weeks here, man. I'm like a week away.
Oh, man, I'm 40?
Yeah.
Oh, man, you're officially going to be over the hill.
Over the hill, that's it.
So, yeah, your birthday's 3 days after mine, right?
That's right.
So, but all right, guys, we're going to let you guys go. Catch us next week, same time, same bad channel.
Remember, votejackandpete.com.
That's right. All right, guys, have a good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth. America's Pulse Network. The mainstream media is bought and paid for. The truth is twisted to fit their agenda. But America is waking up because podcasts are the future for trusted media. Welcome to the America's Pulse Network. It is a network built by patriots that upholds the Constitution. The America's Pulse Network stands for God, truth, and the America First movement. There is no corporate propaganda, no government spin, just real news, real talk, and real voices fighting for faith, freedom, and the future of this great nation with common sense. Here are some of America's Pulse Network podcasts. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. APN's The Pulse, hosted by Alexandra, Damon, and Seth. So tune into America's Pulse Network on the following social media platforms: X/Twitter, Rumble, Truth Social, Facebook, and YouTube. Join the revolution. Because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth. Alexandra Levine Live, hosted by Alexandra Levine. Jersey Shore Podcast, hosted by Damon Galdo. The Conservative Corner, hosted by Seth Eisenberg. Because the pulse of America beats for God and country. America's Pulse Network is for faith, family, freedom, and truth.